Gonna have to blow your screen up to see this. Maybe not. Look, it says here, the ACLU, I like to call that Spook Central because that's what Jesse Jackson and Sharpton use to push their Hebrew agenda. See, because the blacks and the Jews are both Semites. The rest of the world is pretty much Indo-Aryan. Okay, so ain't got this has nothing to do with anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitic would mean that I hate all Semites. And me being partially one, I haven't learned to hate myself. I haven't learned to love myself either, so it's a dualistic thing going on there. Okay? So the Jews and the blacks and 11 others, so there's 13, there's that number, Semitic groups. The rest are pretty much Indo-Aryan. So anyway, Spook Central, the ACLU, has decided that today everybody should wear purple because it's Spirit Day. And you want to talk about truth in advertising because that's what that represents. It represents the spirit. It has nothing to do with the spirit of, oh, well, this is what I believe. No, it has to do with the spirit of the fallen is what it has to do with. You see? Because they're asexual. In other words, they're androgynous. That's what this is. And what is it? What is it geared towards? Let's take a look. Bullying and the LGBT youth. That's lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. Well, why is this getting lumped in with this anti-bullying crap? See, it's not really got anything to do with bullying. It's got to do with all of this shit here. Okay? Creating a safe environment for fucking perversion. Okay? Passing laws to protect perversion. Additional resources for perversion. Build strong connections and keep the lines of communication open. Yeah, give me your phone number. I'll beat the fuck out of you with your phone when I see you. Then I'll call you to say I'm sorry. Oh, sometimes lesbian, gay, bi, and transsexuals feel rejected. Well, rightly so, you toad. Establish a safe environment at school. So I'm supposed to stop living a normal life so you can come over and tell me you want to suck my dick, and then if I tell you to fuck off, oh, now I've committed a crime? That's where it's going. That's where it's going. You know how far this thing has gone? I know some guys that did some time in a joint. Okay? It ain't like in the old days. If you're a child molester, you go into a special section where you're highly protected, and if any of those other guys say anything to you, my buddy got called into the warden's office. If you say anything to them, big trouble. Can't talk to them, can't touch them. So these stories you hear, those are days gone past where child pedophilias get beat up. Doesn't happen like you think anymore. That was the old days. See, the times have changed. And because the times have changed celestially, and this is cancer awareness. Remember cancer awareness? So everything is set up that this shit has to come into play, and you ain't stopping it. But that doesn't mean you got to go along with it. Okay? So now all that was right is now wrong, because this is your pole flip. This is the flipping of the poles. What was wrong is now right, and what was right is now wrong. That's your pole flip that everybody keeps talking about. Create gay and straight alliances. Ooh, super. Can I borrow that camothil? That yellow one that you used to wear? I'll let you borrow my bangle earrings. Super. Hey, Thaler, super uniform. Schools must allow these groups if they have other non-curricular clubs or groups. Be careful not to disclose or discuss issues around being with... What's this? Be careful not to disclose or discuss issues around being LGBT with parents or anyone else. So, protect your privacy, but go around and make sure that everybody knows you are one. And if they say they don't like you, then that's bullying. And don't tell your parents, because your parents might come from another age bracket that say, you know what, you need to keep that shit on the down low. Because not everybody's going to think this is hip and cool. And you're liable to come home with a fucking black eye, if you're lucky. Okay? You better get the idea through your head of what's really going on here. Look, this whole thing of this golden age, you know, in reality, it could work out beautiful for all the people of the world. Because even though this thing is based on the Saturn alien thing, it's based on this feminine aspect. You know, you've got the woman, but then there's another one. The real one. The one that has the mothering, nurturing, and all of that stuff. Not this evil, temptress, perverted sexual thing. So this whole golden age thing could really work if it was done without this crap going on, because it could take and teach tolerance about things that were right and not perverting the things that are not upholding the things that are perverted. See, that's the difference between the two sides. Just because the celestial stars changed and things are going down this way, it's being perverted because you don't know the fucking map. Okay? Because all of that stuff was hidden. So what they do is they say, oh, well, it changed. But in reality, nothing of your morals were ever supposed to change. Your morals were supposed to stay the same. Now they're asking not only to compromise your kids, but they're asking you to compromise your morals. And so that golden age thing where people are supposed to get along, because see, the female, as a rule, is the gentler of the two sexes. And they're the more understanding. That's why the child always runs to the mom, because they know they got a better chance of not getting that ass whooped by their mom than they do by their dad, because dad will usually just take the belt off and beat the ass. At least in the old days they did it. But mom would be understanding, and she would step in and say, you know what, well, he's just a boy, or it's, you know how your daughter is. But no, the mother that's playing the role here is the seductress and the trashy tramp. If you had to put her into a body, it would be Miley Cyrus. Everything has, they're perverting something that could actually be a golden era. But they're perverting it to make it their own golden era instead of golden era for everybody. So technically they're playing by the rules, I guess, because it's cancer awareness, and that means things have to change. But they're changing it, a system within the system. And because of that, you know, people don't know this stuff. They're just going to accept it, and they're going to do the wrong things. They're going to do the wrong things for all the right reasons. Or let me flip that around. They're going to do the right things for all the wrong reasons. They're going to think that this is the right thing to do, and then they're going to find out in the end they did it for all the wrong reasons. Don't change your morals. Period. That's what all this is about. See, I'm sure at some point in the reality of things, this golden era was supposed to be good for everybody, but they've weaseled it down to where it's just good for them, and it's going to be hell on earth for us. For a time. For a time.